Hello, welcome everybody. Good morning. My name is Etukuma Faleti. I live in Southern California, but I'm a native Texas girl. I'm a social worker and volleyball coach. And myself, along with my hosts, are going to be partnered with, are going to be here to talk about Tower Gardens, and we're all partnered with the Whole Food Nutrition Company. Our focus is inspiring healthy living around the world. One way we do that is through our Tower Gardens, helping folks get healthy by growing their own food. And today, with my co-hosts, you're going to join us and talk about all things Tower Garden related. Okay, so I'm grateful that you joined this morning. I want to share about the beautiful and simple way that you can get healthier and take your hands straight into growing vertically through Tower Gardens indoor and outdoor. My co-hosts will share their Tower Gardens with you. We'll go over all the things to know about how to grow your own in your home. The Tower Garden is an aeroponic vertical growing system, uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better tasting, nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Take control of your food supply. Get healthier produce from your kitchen or your backyard. The Tower Garden gives you the opportunity to garden in places where you probably couldn't garden traditionally. Vertical gardening takes up less space, less water, no weeds, no backbreaking work, and it's simple. A third grader could grow using this system, and you'll hear from actually some of our kiddos this morning. The beautiful thing about growing your own food in your own way, you know where it's coming from. You know who's handled it. There's no herbicides, pesticides, fungicides. You can be an expert without having to know anything how to grow straight from your kitchen. With that being said, we hope that you leave this call with a better understanding of how you can grow your own food right from your home. So right into here, let's talk to Angela. Angela, please introduce yourselves to our guests.
Hello, I'm Angela Ginualdi. I live in Lamont, Illinois. I'm a hairstylist and a mom of two. I started growing my own Tower Garden. I have a home right here in my own salon in my basement.
Beautiful. Thank you for that intro. So let's get into it. Tell us about how you learned about Tower Gardening.
I actually was introduced. I went to someone's house and saw this Tower Garden. I got invited to a class and saw it in the corner and was like, I want that. I want to be part of that. So just being able to grow fresh vegetables all year round, Chicago's so cold, was perfect.
That is awesome. And they want to know, let's talk about what an actual Tower Garden actually is. Talk about what it actually means to grow your own food and how the system actually works.
Well, we have two different types of towers. We have a home tower and this is a home tower right here. I could kind of turn it to let you see. And then we have a flex tower, which can go indoor or outdoor. The home is for indoor. It comes with these lights that you have to buy. And it has the water in the bottom. This one specifically holds 32 plants. It 13 gallons of water, where the flex holds 20 gallons of water. So I prefer this one in my home just because I do more smoothies, salads, and herbs. So I do more of my smaller vegetables.
Wonderful. And then talk about how you get started. What do you need to get started with the Tower Garden?
Well, whoever invited you to this today, you would reach out to them, and it comes with the whole set. So you can get the lights, the herbs, you get little rock wools. There's no dirt, like TK said. It comes with a little pack of seeds, and you just put the rock wool, you soak them for 30 minutes, you put your seeds in, you put your vermiculite right on top. And I place mine in the sunny window until it starts to sprout, and then you put it right on your tower. So you're looking at about a week letting it get to a sprout, and then you put it right into your tower. So it's pretty easy. Like you said, a third grader can do it in their classrooms.
That sounds awesome. And then what about, mentioned seedlings. If I want to just have my seedlings, where do I buy them from? Where do I get them from?
There is a place that you can go right online called like Johnny Seeds that a lot of us use. You can get them on Amazon. I could recommend a few different places. Pretty easy. I mean, then they'll send you I've used True Garden, and they'll send them right to your doorstep, and you just take them right out as a seedling and stick them right into your tower.
Great. So you can grow straight from seed or buy seedlings online, right?
Correct.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Sherry. Can you give us a Tower Garden tour? What do you have there?
Sure. I have a lot of herbs going on mine because I am a big smoothie eater, drinker, and I like to make a lot of salads because I'm a really busy mom. So I like to make a lot of salads in jars. So I have some parsley going on right here. I have some rainbow chard. I have some broccolini, cilantro. I just started growing some peppers. I'm actually growing some pea pods. So I have a bunch of variety of stuff on mine. I don't like to do too big of plants though. I try to keep them more herbs and more lettuce than I do. On the other one that I was talking about, the flex, you can grow watermelon, cantaloupe, you can grow bigger stuff, your tomatoes, your zucchini. So that's the one, if you're really trying to grow bigger plants, I'd recommend that one.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angela, for giving us a little bit of a tour and some info on how to get started. Jocelyn, please let us know where you're coming from and talk about, and who do you have with you as well today?
Good morning. We are coming from Indiana, and this is my daughter, Cameron, my tree hugger, bug lover. And I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm Cameron. I'm coming from Indiana. I'm 17. I'm in high school. I do tracking and cross country, and I play orchestra. And I'm like, just the biggest hobby is really into plants and growing vegetables and stuff.
I love that. That is so awesome. So I'll ask you the first question. Why is it so easy? What makes it so easy to grow your own food?
Well, it's really, for us, we live in a wooded area and we have attempted to grow food outside, and we have families of deer and raccoon that love vegetables just as much as we do. So it made sense for us to get the tower and be able to grow our own food inside, not only because of the weather, but because of the animals as well. So it's been really cool and very easy, like Angela described, to sprout your own veggies and herbs and throw them right into the tower and be able to grow and pick our own food and not even have to go outside.
That is awesome. Cameron, talk about, just really quickly, your mom just mentioned it, but I want to hear from you about how simple it is. You can just do it yourself?
Yeah, most of the time, if I'm ever doing maintenance, I don't even have her with me. You know, it's extremely easy. The directions that came with it was very detailed and, explaining it, and, someone who's not even experienced in this kind of stuff and information wise, it's like really easy to understand. It's really easy to set up. It's like very low maintenance. Like growing it in the dirt would probably take more maintenance than it would to grow it in the tower, personally.
Wow, I love that. Jocelyn, talk about how it's helped your family save money.
Well, we are a household of 8, even 9 sometimes. So for us to be able to go directly to the tower and pick all the ingredients we need to make a fresh salad, or be able to grow enough herbs to be able to dry them and package up, make our own seasonings, has definitely helped us with substituting our own, what we consider free produce, for what you would normally go to the store and buy. So it has definitely paid for itself. I think this is probably our second, going into 3rd year with the towers. And it definitely makes a difference in when you're going to make out that grocery list saying, oh no, don't worry about it, we got lettuce on the tower. Yeah, definitely help with saving money.
That is huge. That is huge. And talk about what it's done for the health of your kiddos.
I think for them, it's like when you're involved in growing something, it makes you more curious as to how it tastes, So with my younger ones, it's just been neat for them to see them interested in the process and then wanting to taste the food as it grows or when it's finished growing. So I think it's, as far as the kids' health, has just made them more interested in actually eating healthier and eating more fruits and vegetables.
As far as me, seeing the easy to grab ingredients, like I make smoothies before I go to track, protein smoothies. And when stuff like kale and the Swiss chard is just like that easy, readily accessible, it's more motivation to like go ahead and put that in the smoothie. And so, you know, that's probably a better health benefit rather than I have to go get ingredients and make it myself. And I'm just like, oh, I just go grab a couple leaves off the tower. You know, it's definitely more of like a, you know, it's just out there, it's sitting right in front of you, you know, so.
Absolutely. It's so easy. And I love that you said that you make smoothies before you go and run track. So it's helping you eat healthier before you have to go and you know, do sports and do things that are going to be hard on your body. So you're fueling your body the right way. That's really incredible. I love that. So really quickly, give us a quick little tour of what you're growing.
Well, on this tower here, we have a mix of different types of kale. So dino kale, some of the ruffled kale. Then we have our favorite lettuce, which is Grand Rapids lettuce. It's, I mean, literally you can pick it and see the next leaf start to grow. It grows so fast. For our size family, it's the perfect lettuce. We also have collard greens going. We have some cherry tomatoes. What do you have around there on your side, Kim?
There's just some more cherry tomatoes. We have sugar snap peas, some snow peas, and then we have a couple cucumber plants at the very bottom.
So we actually have 3 towers. So we kind of, this is like our leafy green tower. Then we have another tower here that's more of like your tomatoes, your eggplants, Brussels sprouts. And then our 3rd tower, we do mostly all of our herbs in. So like our parsley, oregano, arugula, cilantro, you know, really fun herbs. So, I mean, we can grow just a huge variety of so much stuff. It's really cool.
I just harvested on my tower, on the middle tower yesterday, and here are some of the peppers that we picked off.
Oh my goodness, it looks so good.
Yeah.
And these are just like the mini bell peppers, so they're sweet. And then we have some spicy ones. So
Her
here's some of
favorite
the spicy
jalapenos.
ones.
Mine too. Mine too. I love that.
Really cute.
Wow. That is so great. Thank you so much for sharing all that. We appreciate you. So Jill, please let them know where you're coming from.
Hey, I'm Jill Ellis. I'm live in northern Michigan, so it's really cold here. It's actually snowing at this moment. We have a really short growing season. It's about three months long or so, that 3-4 months that we have a farmer's market to get that nutrient dense, really good produce. So I love growing on the towers. We have 2. They're currently growing in the basement just because I wanted to be able to answer the question on, you know, maybe some people think they don't have room for them. They really can grow in the basement. So they are kind of out of sight, out of mind, but they are also my set it and forget it gardens. We love to travel and they are on timers. So it waters itself, the lights go on, the lights go off. All that's needed for a tower garden is automatics. I love that. I'm here to talk about maintenance. What we do is we fill the tower garden up. When we're indoors, it's about once a month or so. When it's outdoors, it's about every 2 weeks. And then we do test the pH. And to be honest, I only test the pH at the beginning. When I'm getting my tower garden started, I don't do it any other time after that. If it's growing and things are healthy, I'm like, just set it and forget it. So, but it does come with the little kit. It's kind of fun. You fill it up with some water, put in the drops, and then you figure out your pH according to this. And then if it's too high, you put in one. If it's too low, you put in the other. It's so easy. And then the cleaning of it, I do it about once a year. And between, you know, at times there's about once a year that I switch my plants out. I'm done growing this and we're going to go maybe switch it to outside. Do the big cleaning once a year. And then, you know, as I'm checking on my tower and harvesting up the tower, I just, you know, do a little check on it and do a little wipe down. And, but It's so easy. I'm gonna take that tip of the Grand Rapids lettuce. I love it. That's actually, I'm betting it's Grand Rapids, Michigan. But I am not downstairs, or my Wi-Fi wouldn't be very good to show you my tower, but I'll tell you some of my favorites to grow are celery. You just keep picking the celery, and it is such a dark green compared to what you're getting in the grocery store. I also love cinnamon basil on it, mainly because I can't get it unless I'm growing it myself, and it is so good. So those are all of my favorites. Things like lettuce and parsley, you just harvest and it keeps growing. You harvest, it just keeps growing. So that's one of the things I love about Tower Gardens.
I love that. And tell us really quickly when you were introduced to the Tower Garden. How long ago was it?
It was almost 7 years ago that, we saw them. We, with having such a short growing season, I have done the outdoor in raised bed gardens, and this made complete sense. I did the raised beds for less maintenance and for ease of gardening. And then being able to do this all year round is a whole lot better. And there's no weeding.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And the maintenance sounds so easy. I mean, we know it's easy, but for those who are watching, it truly is simple. You really just let it go, which is what we love so much about it. Thank you so much for giving us information about that, Joe. We need to hear more about how it actually works day to day. Okay, so Precious, please talk about where you're from, you and your son.
Hi, everybody. My name is Precious Cooper. We are in Indianapolis, Indiana. I am a marriage counselor. And
hello, my name is Philip Cooper, the son of Precious Cooper, and I'm an honor roll student, and I'm an athlete in football.
Wow, love
we
that.
have another addition. She's not here today, but I have a daughter named Paris, and she's 14.
Love it, love it. Okay, so Phil, I'm gonna ask you the first question, if you don't mind. I want to know why you love the Tower Garden so much.
I think I would say I like the Tower Garden because it's not really every day that you get to eat something fresh off a Tower Garden, off like just fresh vegetables altogether. And I think that's like really like a blessing to me that I'm able to do that, because it's not every day people are allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're right. It's huge. Okay, so Precious, talk about how it's created more family time for your family.
Yeah, so we make it a family event. Sunday is family day for us. So that's usually the day that we start our seeds or do our maintenance, and everyone's involved. Everyone gets excited about, what to grow. We have all our seeds in an organized container. So we all go through it and pick the things that we want to do. And then we just take turns and, make it so that it's not a chore, that it is just something that encourages quality time, but at the same time, us taking pride into being able to say that here's the food that we chose for ourselves, and be intentional about the things that we want to put in our bodies. So it just brings us closer together.
Yes, I imagine. So talk about, do you feel like it's changed the palate of your kids as far as just having fruits, vegetables that were fresh and greens that were fresh in their home from a young age?
Absolutely. For him in particular, so we have a rule in the house is that if it is a plant, you don't have to ask permission. So every now and then when I go to harvest for myself, I can tell that he has already eaten off of it, because he literally goes up to it and does that, like you would bite into an apple. So sometimes I see teeth marks and I'm like, Phil, you literally could have pulled that whole leaf, off. But the excitement about being to say I grew that makes him want to eat it more. And then it does the same thing with my daughter. She is excited about being able to make smoothies herself and be able to say, I went and got this spinach off of the tower and I was able to put it inside of my shake, because she's an athlete as well. So it encourages them to think about what they're putting in their bodies. And I don't have to be a mom that's saying, do this, do that, do this. They're doing it. They're making conscious decisions on their own.
That's huge. That's huge. Phil, talk to us about, do you believe that because you've been able to see the Tower Garden grow from a young age, you understand that like what it means to do this on your own? You could do this by yourself if you didn't have your parents with you?
Yeah, I think that you could say that like it's easy and simple so that you can do it. And like the best part about it to me is how my mom said earlier, it's not like she's forcing us to do it. You're doing it by yourself, and that makes you happy about it because it's something that you know that you grew.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Precious, do you feel like your kiddos better understand the power of plants now that they're seeing it, just the power of what it does for your health?
Yes, because they talk about like muscle recovery all the time. You know, because they are athletes, they are putting a lot of strain on their bodies. And so they will actually say things like, you know, maybe I should have an additional salad or an additional shake after, you know, putting all those strenuous hours into, you know, their bodies of training. So they definitely understand it. And I think because they are educating themselves on different platforms, I believe that they are more in tune on their own without me being the one that's saying, you know, this is what you need to do. And that makes me proud as a parent that they are thinking about stuff like that.
That is huge. And we heard from Jocelyn, she mentioned how it saves her family money. Same thing for you. Have you seen a difference in how it saved money for your family?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure Jocelyn has seen way more than I have. But I will say one of the things that I typically cook with every single day is bell peppers, right? And so we know if you go into the grocery store right now, one bell pepper in Indianapolis is somewhere in between $1.50 to $1.75. I have paid $2 for my entire pack of seeds. And that probably has about 50 seeds in it, you know. And so that's the one thing that I'm continuously growing nonstop because I know that I'm going to use it all the time. So I feel like her. I feel like at this point, since I am approaching year 3, I feel like I'm getting them for free now. And then we also harvest our seeds from our peppers, you know. So when we take those peppers out and we cut them up, we take those seeds out of there so we can use them again. So definitely save them.
I love that. And I know that you're in between, I think you're putting your Tower Garden, you know, putting back up, right? You're actually going to start it new.
It's actually up now.
Okay.
It's only about 2 weeks in. So
Okay.
some of my things are about 2 weeks, and then I have a couple that's a few days, which we are able to show if you guys are ready.
We would love to see it. Yes.
Okay. Walking over to it. Feels ready, y'all. Okay.
So this Tower Garden right here, this is our Tower Garden, and we named it Sunshine, and it's a Tower Garden home. And up here we have a lot of herbs, and this we have stuff like rosemary, lemon balm. We also have dill. A fun fact about dill is that sometimes we would like to put that on our salmon. And then we have chives, we have arugula, and then cilantro. Another fun fact about that is we like to put that in our guacamole. And then down here we have, bok choy purple lady. And then right over here we have the same kind, it's just not purple. We have bok choy baby kind, and they're both the same size, it's just the other one is purple. And then we have a couple of lettuce over here. We have gourmet lettuce, and we have bib lettuce too. Bib lettuce right here and there. Here and there.
Oh,
Wow.
Here. Okay. And then we're going to follow Phil over to our other Tower Garden. This is the Flex.
We named this Tower Garden Rain, and then here we have this stuff up here is only about 1 to 2 days old that my mom was talking about.
So those are just flowers. So those are pansies. And then we have borage. And these are edible flowers. So, flowers that'll make your salads look pretty, but also very healthy in regards to inflammation, reducing inflammation.
And then these purple things, my mom likes using them because it helps like keep the pod safe before you put anything in. And we literally just got the package of the seeds yesterday, but we're gonna put strawberries in here. So if you get on the call next time, you might see our strawberries. And then here we have spicy peppers. We're thinking about putting that in guacamole and see if that tastes a little spicy.
What's down here?
And then down here we have watermelon. I'm very excited about that. And then snap pea.
So that's the watermelon there. And then these are the snap peas here. And then over here is sunflower. So the plan is, you guys, let me turn this camera back over. The plan is in about 2 weeks, we would like to move our tower outside. On that one that we just showed, the Tower Garden Flex, we want to move it outside. That will be our first year doing that. And then before we switch it back to TK, I'm going to show you one last thing. Something that we do is we make our own seasonings. So here is some parsley. And then this is basil. Can you guys see that? Yeah, that's basil. This is sage. That tastes good in dressing. And then finally dill. And you guys can see how empty that is. I eat a lot of salmon. So that's why that is. So that's it. Anything you want to add before we end, Phil?
I know a lot of parents have questions about this. If you want your kids to eat more vegetables, just teach them how to grow. It's really just that simple. And I just think that helps because it helped for me. And as I said in the beginning of our speech, is that when somebody grows something, they want to eat it because having the privilege to say that you did that, it just makes it super awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Precious and Phil. Before we wrap up, I do want to hear really quickly, I know we heard from Jill what she loves to plant and what she loves to grow, but I want to hear from Jocelyn and Cameron. What are your favorite things to grow in the Tower Garden?
What's your favorite thing to grow?
Okay, probably my favorite thing would be the cucumbers because when they first grow, like right now, there's a bunch of them right now. But when they first start growing and making cucumbers, they produce a bunch of these yellow little flowers, and it's like so pretty. It just adds a lot of color to the tower because you have all the green, but then if you look over and you just see this big old plant and it's all a bunch of yellow. Let's see if we can actually show you. So these are our cucumbers right now. Hold on. There we go. These are our cucumbers. I actually have a few little ones on there, but you see it just makes like all these pretty yellow flowers. And then it even has like little tiny cucumbers on there.
There's the
Love it.
your tomatoes. But I also
Picture on my phone, it's better.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
See the cucumbers?
You see it.
It's from my tower. So
Some of my favorite things, I guess the herbs for me, because they grow so fast and so much, and you just see more of your work. And then you're using them for months later, whereas your tomatoes are bell peppers, those are fun favorites, but you eat them right away. So you don't see them for very long, whereas the herbs we just see for months and months and months afterwards. So if she wants to show you the tomatoes real quick.
Okay.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, so Not sure where where's the camera? Oh yeah, so here's some of our tomatoes. Here's one. We have they're blending in because they're green right now. But like, here's a couple right here. See them?
Yes, we can see them. They look good.
We have some more over here. And then this is our eggplant. And it actually makes like these really pretty purple flowers. Let's see if I can get it in the camera. Oh, this is in the way. Okay, see them?
Yes, beautiful.
They're actually really big, and they're like really, those are another plant that brings color to the tower. So like any of the plants that like bring like a lot of color to the tower, like the tomatoes, the bell peppers, like I said, like the red bell peppers we just picked, and then the cucumbers, those are like my favorite.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that. And then last, we haven't heard from Angie. Angie, what's your favorite thing to grow?
Hello, my favorite thing to grow is kale because I use kale every day in my smoothies. I also like the rainbow chard, just like Jocelyn's daughter just said. It's very colorful, it looks pretty. And when I make my salad, I like to really show the colors.
I love that. So guys, really quickly, I'll do my turn. I'm gonna have you guys can hear the water coming on. My favorite thing about the Tower Garden, obviously, is growing my own food, but it is so soothing. I come out here, the water goes on, it's just, I could fall asleep right here, honestly. But let's do a quick little swap so you guys can see. So I actually just took my Tower Garden down, and then I actually did a full clean. That's why it looks so nice and fresh. And I planted a whole bunch of new babies. I was growing these for about 2.5 weeks or so. So I was harvesting off almost the entire Tower Garden. I took, as you can see, when it starts to grow like this, starts to grow up like this, it means it's bolting, it's time to harvest. So I'm gonna take this whole thing out. So this has been about since November. So the entire Tower Garden was growing for, I had plants for about 3 or 4 months, and I'm taking them all apart. And now I did a new little beautiful baby growing. So as you can see right here, this is also bolting, right? So it's time for me to grab these two and harvest these. But here's some babies that I have some spinach here. I have some babies growing. As you can see, this is how I start. This is about 4 days in here, okay? I have some spinach, some romaine here. We have some bib lettuce here. I'm gonna put these babies in here in about 3 or 4 days. I have some variety lettuce here. I have some rosemary right here, guys. These are all babies. These are all about 2 weeks old. I have our red lettuce here. This is actually really, really sweet. We have more romaine. I have mint here that I'm in love with. I put it in my smoothies all the time. My favorite is bok choy. This tastes delicious with stir fry. And there's more varieties of lettuce, bib. My favorite thing to grow are my collard greens. They are absolutely delicious. I love them. And so within about 3 weeks or so, she'll probably be done growing, but she's gonna be harvested soon, but I take off her every single day. So that is how my Tower Garden looks right now, with it being almost brand new in the last 3 weeks or so. So guys, we are so, so grateful that you joined us. Thank you for taking your time with us to hear from all of our panelists, all of our hosts about how we help people around the world live a healthier life, take produce into their own hands and their health into their own hands, and be their own farmer. It really is truly simple. You've heard from kiddos, it's from the ages of 13 all the way to 17. They can do it just as much as we can do it. It is truly the easiest and simplest way to make sure that you have a hand in how you are taking care of your body. If you feel like something that you feel like you want to do or you can do, please, please, please talk to the person that invited you to this event, because we'd love to hear more from you about any questions that you have, and then tell you what we know that you can do, which is grow your own food 2 feet from your kitchen. So we're so, so grateful that you joined. This will be recorded if you want the recording later on to get to your friends and your family. But thank you so much to Angie. Thank you so much to Jill. Thank you so much to Precious. Thank you so much to Phil, Jocelyn. We really appreciate you, and Cameron. We thank you so much for your sharing. Those of you guys who hang up with us today, we're going to say hello and we're going to say goodbye to you guys. If you have any questions, we'll stay on for just 2 or 3 more minutes, and you can type some questions in the chat. We can answer some questions for you before we actually end the call. Okay? So any questions that you have, type it in the chat and we can answer them. If not, we're grateful that you're here, and we'll see you guys next time.
TK, there was a question in there about how we
Okay.
grow plants that flower without bees. And I just wanted to address that question because we do have quite a bit of that going on right now with our tomatoes. Tomatoes don't actually have to be pollinated, by a bee. Sometimes it's just simply shaking the plant. We keep a fan on in the room also, wind will carry pollen as well. Cameron is our professional pollinator. She takes the Q-tips with our cucumbers because they do have male and female flowers. And she takes a Q-tip and puts it inside the female and male flowers and pollinates them that way. Same thing with our eggplant and any of the more viney type of vegetables that we grow. Bell peppers, all you have to do is shake them. They'll drop pollen on each other and pollinate that way. So another great thing about the tower is there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube to show you each individual vegetable that you might try to grow in the tower garden. There's some video somewhere that will show you from start to finish how to grow it.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so if you want to stay on, we can, but we're going to end the recording right now and say goodbye and thank you